All right, guys, welcome to today's mid-program success interview. Today I'm joined by Sabin. Sabin and I have been working through Q1 together, and he's made some really great changes and is in a much better place. Well, I believe he's in a much better place now than when we first started. But I'm going to let Sabin obviously share those details soon. But first of all, Sabin, can you just give yourself a quick intro to the guys watching, a bit, about who you are, what you do, etc.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. So Sabin, CEO, PCS Global, and yeah, I'm a sort of a serial entrepreneur, always under pressure, always constrained with time, and really bad with my eating and exercising. So that's the reason why, Ryan, I came to you to see what I could do differently and get things back on track. I realized that my health should be a priority, and yeah, it's been a great ride, great journey so far.
Awesome. Jumping the gun a little bit there. I'm going to ask you to go into more depth in that, though. So
Okay.
you started us off nicely. Um, what really was the catalyst? I suppose back end of last year, because it was back end of last year when we spoke, right? And we got
Yeah.
on a free open session, and from off the back of that, we ended up getting into this program. So, what was the catalyst for, I suppose, first of all, wanting to even get on that open session and then do the program?
So back in September, I'd taken on a personal challenge to get fit, and I ran 100 kilometers. I lost a lot of weight, and then fell back into my old routine again. And I realized that I needed to do something a little bit different so that the results could be sustainable. And I was tired of doing it the old way and going at it by myself. So yeah, when I saw your video on LinkedIn, it resonated with me. I was that busy executive, and I said, "Well, look, this looks like a guy that knows what I'm going through, and let's give it a shot."
And in fact, let's stay on that. For the guys watching who maybe are also in that position, what was you going through exactly? How was you feeling at that time?
I was stressed. I was anxious, a lot of tight deadlines, and because of that, I always felt tired. So I lacked the motivation to get up and actually do something about it. And it's
Mm.
almost like a cycle, and you never even when you try, you never seem to get out of it. So I was just stuck in that tumble dry, the wash spin cycle.
What would you say has been the I know I've just asked you this, but what would you say has been the key takeaways for you from this whole process that we've gone through?
So I think the biggest thing, Ryan, was how you tied up what I was doing with my purpose and the reason. And that for me was sort of the pivotal point when I realized why I was doing it. Initially when I was doing it, I was doing it to lose weight and get fitter. But the question is really why. And I think when I joined your program, it wasn't just a health program, it was a holistic program that didn't just deal with exercising and dieting. It dealt with nutrition, it dealt with mindset. You gave us breathing exercises, and it really was a well-rounded approach to actually losing the weight. And I didn't realize all these things were interconnected until I actually started doing it.
Mm. I know that we had also, and I know this will resonate a lot with the guys watching, and it's a conversation I have a lot with my clients. But we had some conversations I know around sort of the mental aspect as well as the physical, and how the two interlinked. And I think it'd be interesting for the guys watching to understand a little bit about what changes maybe you've seen there, and what you've learned on that side of things regarding sort of, I suppose, mental health.
100%. So the fundamental thing was to get your mindset right. So that was sort of I had to stop. My mind was constantly racing, and I almost had to slow things down and break it down into chunks so that I could deal with it. And when I started doing that, and when I started doing the breathing exercises, it made me a lot more relaxed and allowed me the energy and the focus to be able to get into the exercise. And then once I started doing the exercises, the energy came back, the clarity came back, and it was just a self-fulfilling cycle. So where previously I was caught in a cycle, that wash spin cycle, downward spiral, this was sort of an upward spiral. And we've been at it now for almost 3 months, I think,
Yep.
on the program.
Yep.
And I mean, I did mention I fell off the bus when I had an overseas business trip. I had to go away for 2 weeks. And when I got back, it was just amazing to me to see how quickly I could get back into the rhythm again and to get back the gains that I had lost. So within the 1 week, I've almost gone back to where I had left. And it was, I mean, you mentioned something to me. It's not how hard you fall; it's how fast you get up. And that's exactly what I've realized, is that this program has helped me bounce back a lot faster and given me the motivation to continue.
Mm. Bit of Rocky Balboa for you there.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. I think we'll leave it at that. Like, I think a lot of guys watching this will resonate with what you shared there, Sabin. And guys, like, yeah, if you are watching and you are resonating with what Sabin here has shared with you, and perhaps even some of the other guys that maybe you've watched as well, ping me a message on LinkedIn. Mostly where I hang out is LinkedIn, but Facebook, wherever you've got me, ping me a message. We can grab a very quick conversation, like 10, 15 minutes, and just see what's happening for you and see if we can help you get to where